Welcome to Istanbul again. Thank you. We know you well, Istanbul.
I love Istanbul, and
Istanbul
I love-
loves you also.
this I don't know, but I know that that I like to come here because it's a very lively city, and I like the people here. They're very nice, and they have humor, which is very seldom in the architectural world. Humor is lost. They lost humor. The architects. They are too serious now. No laughing anymore. But here, it's okay. It's very okay.
And then, especially the young architects and designers know your name and they like your works actually. But the always we discuss about you in some different organization. The first of all, why do you teach? Because we know that you design and build and then teach.
When I started to teach, it was in the early 80s. I wanted to bring new ideas to school, and I was very fond of the young people, which were very active and very ambitious and very powerful, I have to say. I started to teach at the AA,
Mhm.
and then SciAc, and then all around from west from the west coast to the east coast.
From the old world to the new world.
What's the
Old world, from the old world to the new world.
Yeah, right.
From
And
Europe to
I learned
USA.
a lot listening to the architects, how they talk about their work. It's very different. At this time, it was very different to the European way of thinking. The Anglo-Saxon system was much better, in my point of view, than the European system teaching. Meaning that the Europeans were very technocratic, and the Anglo-Saxon style was more liberated. Therefore, I love to teach, especially with the SciAc students, because they were really fond of what they're doing. Nowadays is very different, I have to say, since the computer entered the teaching world. The students now are going um, not so much to the function of a building than rather to the image of a building, which is okay. But I think only the synergy between form, which I would better say Gestalt, and the functionality, only when the Gestalt and the function going together and building up a synergetic space, then it's architecture. So I stopped teaching 5 years ago, or 7 years ago, because I could see that our profession is going down, and I don't want to teach young people running in a misery situation. Because the architects are nowadays, they are like sardines in an aquarium of sharks. Yeah, but they don't have a swarm intelligence.
Mm.
So we are the prey of investors right now.
And also, you have found a school in Vienna also.
Yeah,
VAK.
when they called
And
me,
you invite the many
yeah,
other from other
yeah,
countries, the different non-architects, and then
yeah,
VAK very powerful
yeah,
school now, and you.
yeah. Now I don't know what's going on the school because I left
Mhm.
the school um, because I didn't want to teach young people that architecture is doing architecture now is a nonsense.
Mm.
Yeah, because if we go this way, along this way in the future, we will be only the decorators
Mm.
of some stupid buildings.
Mm.
When I started to be the dean of the school, I tried to bring the best things of the
Mm.
Anglo-Saxon teaching system to the European system.
Mm.
Meaning, I was the first teacher in Austria and even in Germany that introduced the, the topic of a review
Mm.
to the young people.
Mm.
Um, you know that we had when I was a student, we had not never a review. We only had a correction. They
Mm.
called it correction, and one professor was judging the student's work. So I knew the system of review, so I invited people to come to to our school, and then later on I got the possibility because two professors left to invite Saha to teach there and Greg Lynn. So Greg, Saha, and me, we were a kind of international team. Since I was a Viennese, I knew what's going on in Vienna, so I could manage that perfectly to give this school an international stand. Yeah. Thanks of Saha, thanks of Greg.
And quick question about the partnership architecture office
Yeah,
and the you did the partnership. You have
yeah, yeah.
partner.
We when we
Is it possible partnership in architecture
Yeah, yeah, of
office?
course. It's like, yeah, okay. When we started, we were three guys.
Mhm.
Now I'm the only one who left. Left? No, I'm the only one who stayed.
State, yes.
The other one left earlier. Many reasons. We are not enemies, but there were many reasons to leave the office because, yeah,
Did you
anyways.
hear about the cool Himmel now the cool Himmel?
Yeah, yeah, the cool Himmelblau. That's good. And partnership. I think nowadays it's impossible to run an office with only one guy.
Hmm.
It's not impossible, but it's much better to have a team.
Hmm.
And my role model in this case was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, were the soccer team of Barcelona.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the trainer was Guardiola.
Mhm.
And I really appreciated that he introduced foreign moves into soccer,
Mhm.
meaning that he studied basketball and the other sports, and some moves
Mhm.
he introduced to the soccer playing team Barcelona, you know, the tiki-taki and building up a system. And then maybe, and this is the same like our office, maybe one guy, mostly me, is messy. Yeah, he can break the system and make unforeseeable moves.
Mhm.
So this is how we design
Mhm.
right now, using all this. computer tools and all the robotic tools and 3D plotting tools and all the things. So there is a lot of we can create new situation um, while working on a project. It's not the conventional way of doing architecture. It's not only using the computer, but we are using drawings, hand, computer, robotics, 3D plotting, all in different stages.
And robotic construction.
We don't see the computer or the robot as a creative part of our work. We are using these possibilities only as tools, not replacing the creativity of human being. Uh, this Eric Fromm, the psychoanalyst, said if you delegate your liveliness to machines, expresses a death wish of the society. So this is what I always say. Therefore, we still work in a feedback system, computer hand, robotic hand, model hand. So this is um, constantly changing. We're changing methods. This comes from the idea of trial and error, which is the symbol for an open society. And all our buildings are directed towards an open society, meaning we, in every of our building are public spaces. Whether they will be used or not, it depends on the owner or the operator of this building. But there are air bubbles which are not programmed. So this is kind of trial and error. We are really successful in drawing people in our buildings. For instance, the BMW world, which is 10 years old, we decided 12 years ago, 15 years ago, 15 years ago. And it was finished after 5 years, which is actually a very short time to design and build the whole thing without using the robotics. If we would have been able to build it with robots at this time, it would have taken maybe 2 years.
This kind of norm of architecture, let's say disciplinary architecture, the will be changed the buildable.
It's a long way to do that because then the architects have to change the mentality of the building industry, which is not the best one, I have to say. The building industry, if the car industry would act like the building industry, we would still riding horses.
Yeah, according to if you compare the automotive industry, the
Yeah.
other industry, it's the construction industry is so old school.
Yeah, very old school.
And in the construction sector industry need exactly this kind of
Yeah,
robotics like other industry.
yeah.
How can we push?
Contemporary method.
Mm,
I
how can we
think
push them?
there is a big firewall of the industry, which is expressed by the norms, by the codes, and by the rules.
Mhm.
If you introduce a new material, you have to fight all these fire codes, building codes, and all this thing, yeah? And that takes a while. You will see in the lecture that I show a part which we did with robots that saved uh, 72 workers and 7 months of building it. So I think it will come, and I'm sure when the Chinese are coming over to Europe, that will really push the building industry because they can do it. our building industry cannot do it until now. Yeah. But if there will be a competition between the old and the new, you will see, because the investor will save a lot of money, he will take it. Yeah, he will take it. The social problem is, what can we do with the workers which have no job anymore? We started to make a research, but we don't get support. All the research companies, they don't want to give us money to research this thing, but this may be a very important thing in the future.
Actually, the people need the job, but at the same time, the construction uh, works. It's so difficult and dangerous things. The other way is what we need with robots.
Yeah, of course.
Robotic system will be more safe and fast,
Faster, cheaper,
and affordable.
Affordable. It's better than cheaper. It will be affordable. And it enables the architect to create more complex buildings than we do now.
Yeah, it's thank you very much for our
Finished? Thank you.
We'll continue your lecture. We'll mention many things, and then we will add the interview to your lecture. Thank you very much for your projects. Always the pioneer and the leader for our architecture field. And then
you made the day for me.
And then you started to, especially the 3D fabrication and the digital construction system, very important for our field, for especially the young people.
Yeah,
they're really interested in that part.
Yeah, but they should not forget that architecture is not only construction, and a building is not a priori a building. A building becomes architecture when some of the parts reaches out to the meta level, means philosophy, social,
immaterialization.
Yeah.
Therefore, the young people always, the construction mafia scare them about frustrated about them that you can't build that, you can't do that, and then they have the freedom with robotic digital construction system.
First of all, the building industry is the second is in the first corrupted. The first industry, which is the most corrupted, is the weapon industry. And the second one is the building industry.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So this is the problem. And we heard it for 20 years that you cannot build it. Zaha was desperate because they always said you cannot build it. Yeah. And if it comes to the very end, we are building faster, more functional, and more exciting than this conventional conservative movement. Look what the architects do now. They are obedient to the investor, and what they they make buildings with windows with a small slits. Yeah, it reminds me on a medieval tower where they have the bow and the arrows, shooting out of the slit. It's defending. It's not offensive.
Yeah.
They are not bigger than life. They are smaller than life. And the architects, in order to get the job, they say it's because of energy. I hate to save energy. What I would love to see at all our buildings is that our buildings create energy, meaning the energy, they can be self-supportive. Yeah, meaning they create the energy with sun and air and the soil can enough energy to support their own building. Yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah, but no one wants to hear that because then maybe we have to rethink the whole thing. Then maybe, but there's a long way to go for young people.
Yeah,
It's the only way
our
to
headline
survive.
will be as an architect, we would like to create an energy.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
that's
I like that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to your lecture.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
It's very nice.